That's right. Oh, good, you let me out. How long was I in there for? 2 weeks, give or take? 2 weeks? What the fuck? Well, I just wanted a new episode of That's Unpopular, and, with the way the videos are on the channel, I was assuming I wasn't gonna get one. You stupid fucking peanut butter lipstick. Get the fuck out. Okay, finally, I'm back. By the way, Angry Runner copyrighted your Mr. Bucket review. Welcome back to another episode of Jetpack Retro. I did want to cover a certain other topic today, but due to what I recently saw on my videos and the fact that this is a topic that nobody ever wants to cover and something that I was a big hyped up on when it was announced, I considered, I guess I might as well get it out of the way now. No better time than now to cover this. Don't worry, the next video will be much more positive and be about something that's way more hyped to talk about. But for now, let's take a look at the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. Oh boy. Yes, I remember when this was first announced and how hyped I was. When his initial video came out suggesting the idea, then him bringing up the Kickstarter, and then that amazing video of him showing him, taking a look at signatures, autographs, getting them ready for fans to take with them, as a thank you for the fact that he reached way over what he was asking for. He was asking for a small budget and got way more than he thought he was going to get. Things were looking high, and I was excited as hell to see this movie get made. It had a good premise, with it being based around the legend of the one game he never reviewed ever. Even an episode, Spielberg Games, where it literally ended with a teaser for the movie, and everything was riding it high for a great Angry Video Nerd movie. But then it came out. And the second people took a look at it and what it ended up being, well, let's just say it wasn't much of positives. Not all bad though, but not completely positive. To me, the movie just an okay if I had to give it a rank, just fine, right in the middle. But we're not going to do a full-on review of the movie here. We're just going to take a few peeks here and there, and I'm just going to give you my notes of why this was a failure, but not a complete failure, if that makes sense.
Oh, cut.
Perfect take, nerd. Nice throw, man. Want another angle?
Cooper, I appreciate the help, but usually I film these videos all by myself.
Want a wide shot?
No.
Close up?
No.
An over the shoulder?
No.
A behind the knee shot?
Yes, first things first is this. Now, I'm not trying to bury this person or anything. Really good actor. I can see this guy know the work. But why? Everybody can agree with me on this one. I've even seen videos bringing this up. Why bring up somebody new that has nothing to do with Angry Video Game Nerd? It genuinely makes no sense. I was expecting a big, grand Angry Video Game Nerd adventure with Mike Matei. I thought, yeah, Mike Matei would be a great fit. He's been there from the start. He's played all your characters before. A fun adventure that reveals also a mix of how you do the show, where Mike's the one behind the camera, or Mike's the one trying to hype you up to do this E.T. review. Hell, we could even throw in a joke where he doesn't know much about gaming because he gets too frustrated by it, and that's why he sees no problem in you reviewing the E.T. game. Really good thing, and yes, like I heard before, another true point, Angry Vern has this thing where he needs to be with people he knows and he gels with. He needs to be with people that are from his life or personal. Because if not, it just comes off as awkward. And he ends up just giving this weird try not to laugh face throughout the entire movie. And I'm sorry, but it fits better when you're with people you know. You can feel the connection. You can feel that comedy going off each other like with your old episodes. I mean, with lots of your old episodes.
Hey man, did you just swear?
Yo, yeah, I said fuck you, dick, 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 dick. yeah, fuck you, dick, dick, dick.
And sadly, that's what was missing here. That connection, characters that are actually from your show that we know. I mean, hell, even if you threw in Super Mega Death Christ in there, that would have been better than whatever this was. But instead, we got, in all honesty, a person trying way too hard to be Hollywood, when the fact is that's not what we loved about your work. What we loved was the fact that it was you, yourself, your own fun, your own vision coming to life with what you just had laying around the house. It gave many creators, even people like me that don't have anything trying to get a jump start in our film careers, hope. It gave us a thought of, hey, we don't have to be big budget movies or anything, as long as we use what we have and make whatever skills we can just with what's at home, we could probably make it. You started that, and then the movie kind of ran away from that.
If I was a big director, I think that I would actually try to force that. I would try to keep it like a home movie style. I don't know if the general public would pick up on that though, but I think that would be a good thing to try, and I think that should be something I should strive for. I should try to get that out there.
Yes, now we come to the budget. Another thing people have pointed to, which I also agree, is that budget you had was way more compared to other independent filmmakers I've seen. It was way more if you used it wisely. But for some reason, he went bonkers with it. It needs to be filmed in Hollywood, nowhere else. I need to film it where movies are made. It has to be done actually buying expensive locations. It has to be shot on location. Why? Many independent filmmakers could tell you that's not the point. The point is to use what you have to make a fun experience. I'm sorry, but there's a thing in film called smoke and mirrors. There's a thing in film called, by the way, it's just a film, these are just effects. The whole point of effects in film is to make things look like something else, and basically to use your imagination to make a story that's obviously not real, but to us feels real because of the way it was shot. And I agree with the notes. I 100% agree he should have just done it locally. He should have filmed it in places he already knew. He should have gone to much more cheaper locations. Hell, should have gone to places that he is familiar with and is friends with some of these places, so it helped him even more with that connection I mentioned earlier. And he should have just filmed it the way he would Angry Virginia episode, just with a bit more effects and a bigger budget. That's it. All it had to be was, for example, like when he did the Bugs Bunny episode, or when he did the Rob the Robot episode, something like that, just with higher quality and to a bigger scale and more locations. That was all that was needed. But for some reason, he took this personally. He took it as an attack where I need to be a filmmaker. It needs to be real. I need to do this to prove I'm a filmmaker. It almost feels like he started to slowly not want the presence he had or not want the attention he had, and he wanted to finally break away from it and be a filmmaker, which I'm all for. I actually do think he's a talented director and a talented filmmaker. I think he is. I mean, I love the Head Incident movies. I love Board Games, which was a masterful piece of storytelling, and he has that charm to him that shows that he can do it. I mean, his video, A Horror Premise I'm Working On, I actually love that video. I really do wish he makes that movie. Using nostalgia as a type of horror genre that we could get into is really enjoyable, and I actually do hope he does make that movie one day. Hell, it'd be better than what he did here. Not trying to be mean, just stating facts.
I'd like to be the father of the short films, like Edgar Allan Poe is to short stories, because, I mean, I wouldn't mind going into a theater and watching like 4 short films in a row rather than like one feature, because, you know.
But when all's said and done, in the end, when I give my just straight up honest thoughts of just the movie for what it is and watching it for how it is, it's not horrible. There's a part of me that enjoys the movie. Yeah, it's nowhere near great, but it's just simple fun in my opinion. I like the effects he was able to pull off. I love the little things he did here and there. I actually love the True Gamer Fight CIA Area 51 mixed story that makes for good comedy. There's good jokes in it, there's good story moments, and when everything's said and done, I like that in places here and there he actually did decide to mix together his simple film style with some jokes and some things that worked here and there. I mean, I put this movie on with a few friends of mine when it came out, and then later showed it to another friend of mine who's never heard of Angry Nerd. And do you know what that person's thoughts were? They said to me exactly, I like it. It's nothing extraordinary, but I love the fact that he's willing to admit it's a small budget and he's having fun with the fact this is a much smaller, simpler movie. I love its simplicity. Every person I talk to tells that to me. Every person tells me, yeah, I love the simple parts of it and the working with a small budget parts of it. Those parts are great. But the parts where he tries too hard are always the parts people turn away from. One person I watched it with outright just didn't like it because they said to me, with the budget he was given, he could have done something much better locally in a much cheaper area with friends of his. This person doesn't even know Angry Nerd, and they had those thoughts with me. They said this would have been better if it was just done locally. So even people that don't know who he is, even they have the same thoughts, which just blows me away. It's a simple movie, it's fun, and in the end of the day,
I think my dream would be to maybe make a really big cult sensation, like maybe just have people going nuts in the theaters, like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
as long as we keep thoughts like those in mind, we got ourselves gold on our hands. Now, with what you were trying to do with this, I do think your vision you brought with you with this would be much better for your horror premise. The horror premise does need what you did with this movie in that one. This one, it just had to be fun, simple time with your fans and your friends and those around you that you hold dear. So yes, that's all I had to say for finally my return out of that goddamn ghost trap. I'll see you next time.